Bloodhound Lil Jeff got shot and killed. He got shot 12 times. You actually talking about?
19.
When Lil Jeff pursued a rival gang member through the streets in a tense gunfight, he never could have predicted it would be his final battle. Despite seeming to have the upper hand, he was unaware of a hidden threat that would ultimately seal his fate. Weeks after his tragic death, some of his associates have come forward with unsettling revelations about his life. Secrets that could shake the foundation of the Chicago's gang affiliations and alter public perception of the young rapper. At the heart of these revelations lies a chilling question. How many lives did Lil Jeff take? Since his
He allegedly killed more people.
How many people did he allegedly kill?
He claims 11.
Lil Jeff was rumored to have been responsible for more than 11 murders before a rival gang member finally caught up with him. This shocking revelation came from a source close to his crew, though details about these killings remain scarce. However, the accusations bring to mind two high-profile murders that Lil Jeff allegedly took credit for. Those of Chicago rappers Monty and Lil Rob, just months before his own death. The allegations linking Lil Jeff to Monty and Lil Rob's deaths marked a turning point in his reputation, further cementing his infamy on the streets and in the public eye. These were not random acts of violence, but calculated, targeted hits that underscored the brutal reality of Chicago's gang wars. Both Monty and Lil Rob, known members of rival gangs, were gunned down in executions that bore the hallmarks of professional hits. The audacity of these killings drew immediate attention from law enforcement and the media, making Lil Jeff a person of interest. Many pointed to his lyrics and music videos as potential confessions, with some believing that his song Ah contained chilling details about the murders. His verses seemed to align too closely with real-life events, leading many to suspect that he wasn't just rapping, he was boasting. This belief was reinforced by a video showing Lil Jeff and his gang members wearing the same outfits and driving. A vehicle matching the description of the one spotted at the crime scene, blurring the line between artistic expression and real-life violence. Despite growing speculation and mounting evidence, someone else was ultimately charged for the murders. However, the weight of these accusations never left Lil Jeff's name, adding to his already notorious reputation. Taking credit for the killings may have set off a chain reaction that ultimately led to his own demise. The events leading to his death unfolded with the same intensity and chaos that had defined his life. On that fateful day, tensions between rival gangs reached a boiling point, setting the stage for a deadly confrontation. A chance encounter between Lil Jeff and an opposition gang member quickly escalated from a verbal dispute into a high-speed chase through the streets of Chicago, with both men armed and ready for violence. What happened next sealed Lil Jeff's fate forever. As gunfire echoed through the urban landscape, Lil Jeff and his rival exchanged shots, their reckless pursuit putting countless innocent bystanders in danger. The chase reached a critical turning point when the opposition gang member, desperate to escape, fled to his home. Lil Jeff, relentless in his pursuit, followed closely behind, unaware that he was walking into a deadly trap. Just as he approached the house, another individual emerged, armed and ready to defend their territory. Within seconds, chaos erupted once more. A fresh round of gunfire broke out, and in the heat of the moment, Lil Jeff was struck in the chest. The bullet proved fatal, and he collapsed on the spot, his life ending in an instant. The aftermath of Lil Jeff's death sent shockwaves through his gang, rival factions, and the wider community. His passing marked the close of a turbulent chapter, but ignited a series of reactions that underscored the deeply entrenched tensions in Chicago's gang landscape. For his own gang, Lil Jeff's death was met with a volatile mix of grief and rage. He had been a formidable figure, both feared and respected, and his loss left an undeniable void. His name quickly became a rallying cry, fueling a thirst for retribution and further embedding his crew in the cycle of violence. Gang leaders vowed to avenge his death, escalating an already volatile street war. Rival gangs, however, saw his demise as both a victory and a warning. Some used it as an opportunity to assert dominance, while others braced for the inevitable: retaliation, reinforcing their defenses in preparation for the bloodshed that was sure to follow. The broader community reacted with a blend of fear, frustration, and weary resignation. For residents of Chicago's most violence-stricken neighborhoods, Lil Jeff's death was yet another tragic reminder of the endless gang warfare claiming young lives. While some called for peace, others remained doubtful that anything would truly change. In response, law enforcement intensified efforts to curb gang activity, launching new investigations and ramping up patrols to prevent further violence. However, the deep-rooted nature of these conflicts made it clear that a lasting solution would require more than just increased policing. Another focal point for investigators was Lil Jeff's music and videos, which were scrutinized for potential evidence of criminal activity. His lyrics, often filled with vivid depictions of street life and references to real-life incidents, became key pieces in an effort to link his artistic expressions to actual crimes. The blurred line between music and reality raised further questions. Was he merely telling stories of his environment, or were his songs coded confessions of the life he lived? Lil Jeff's music videos were heavily scrutinized by authorities, who dissected the imagery and symbolism used by him and his associates. The presence of weapons, gang signs, and specific locations provided valuable insights into the operations and affiliations of his crew. This scrutiny extended beyond his music, as law enforcement closely monitored his social media activity, analyzing posts and interactions for evidence of gang-related activities and communications. The legal implications of using music and videos as evidence sparked ongoing debates about artistic freedom and the limits of self-expression. While some argued that lyrics and visuals were simply creative storytelling, others believed they served as confessions or even as incitements to violence. This tension underscored the difficulties law enforcement faced in balancing the need for evidence with the protection of artistic rights. In today's digital age, social media plays a significant role in shaping perceptions and influencing behavior, particularly among the youth. For individuals like Lil Jeff, platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube were powerful tools for self-promotion and expression. However, they also served as avenues for glorifying the gang lifestyle, with far-reaching consequences for impressionable audiences. Lil Jeff's online presence was carefully curated to project an image of power, excitement, and notoriety. Through posts and videos, he highlighted his music, gang affiliations, and conflicts with rivals. To many young followers, this lifestyle appeared glamorous, offering a sense of respect and status that seemed unattainable through other means. For those seeking an escape from their struggles, figures like Lil Jeff became role models, their online personas providing a template for recognition and influence. However, this glorification of gang culture on social media also fueled violence and rivalry. Online exchanges between opposing gang members often escalated into real-world confrontations, with social media platforms becoming virtual battlegrounds for taunts and threats. Lil Jeff's interactions online were no exception. His posts frequently provoked responses from adversaries, further perpetuating the cycle of conflict. At just 21 years old, Lil Jeff was caught in the drill that ended his life. How did such a young man, full of life and promise, become deeply entangled in the violence and crime of Chicago's gang underworld? His story is intertwined with the notorious Gangster Disciples, a legacy of power, loyalty, and deadly consequences. Before his death, Lil Jeff was closely affiliated with the Gangster Disciple Nation, one of the most formidable forces in Chicago's gang landscape. The gang traces its origins back to the late 1950s, when two influential figures, Larry Hoover Sr. and David Barksdale, sought to consolidate power in the city's rapidly growing gang scene. Over time, the Gangster Disciples emerged as a dominant entity recognizable by their signature colors: blue, black, gray, and white, which became synonymous with their identity. The gang's formation was deeply rooted in the socio-economic struggles faced by many African American communities in Chicago. As the city wrestled with poverty, segregation, and a lack of opportunities, the Gangster Disciple Nation provided a sense of belonging and protection for its members. Over the decades, the gang expanded its influence, establishing itself as a key player in criminal enterprises such as drug trafficking, extortion, and violent confrontations with rivals. Its reach eventually stretched beyond Chicago, creating a vast network of affiliates across the United States and cementing its reputation as one of the country's most powerful and organized gangs. Despite numerous efforts by law enforcement to dismantle the organization, its presence remains deeply entrenched in Chicago's neighborhoods, contributing to the city's ongoing struggles with gang violence. Understanding the history of the Gangster Disciple Nation is essential to grasping the environment that shaped Lil Jeff's life. The gang's long-standing legacy of power and violence